И первый. В черный угол приглашается боксер из Таджикистана. Встречайте, Nekрuz Salimov.
Черный аист в хребте гусарском прячет сердце свое.
Well, if you're a fan of IBA boxing, you will recognize the familiar figure of Nekruz Salimov. There's confirmation of his credentials. Silver medalist in the 2022 Under-22 Asian Championships at 80 kilograms. That continental tournament held in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. A year later, he returned to the same city, was ringside commentating at the Humo Arena, where he was a quarter-finalist at the 75-kilogram middleweight division. Lost on a 4-1 split to Marino Fendero of France, the eventual bronze medalist. He lost at the semi-final stage to the eventual champ, Luenli Hernandez of Cuba, who made it back-to-back golds. He's now an IBA.Pro out of Cuba in Rhode Island at United States. But this man, a long, relaxed, orthodox fighter, preparing for his second outing on the IBA.Pro stage, having fought on IBA.Pro 8 in Dushanbe. I was commentating on that event.
Из Санкт-Петербурга, Россия. По прозвищу Палач. Nikita the Executioner Kuzmin.
Nikita Kuzmin is from right here in St. Petersburg, preparing for his first outing on the IBA.Pro stage. But an undefeated pro in the paid ranks with a record of 7 fights, 7 wins, and 3 of those wins coming inside the distance. As you just heard from our MC, goes by the nickname the Executioner, a ring moniker that he shares with the legendary middleweight and light heavyweight champion Bernard Hopkins out of Philadelphia. Although in his latter days, of course, he changed it to the Alien.
Супервайзер IBA.Pro Максим Чертыковцев. Судьи у ринга Сергей Журкин, Ираклий
So a quick look at the tail of the tape
Рефери
between these two talented boxers.
Представляю вам боксера.
Nekruz Salimov with a slight height advantage in his contest. Made
Ему
it
26 лет,
76.2
его рост
kilograms, which is super
184
middleweight
сантиметра,
in
вес
old money.
74,9 килограмма. Профессиональный рекорд 2 победы, включая победу нокаутом. Дамы и господа, он двукратный чемпион Таджикистана, финалист чемпионата Азии Ю-22 из Душанбе, Республика Таджикистан. Приветствуйте, Nekruz Salimov. Его соперник в золотом углу. Боксеру 28 лет. Рост 180 сантиметров, вес 74,8 килограмма. Профессиональный рекорд 7 побед, включая 3 победы нокаутом, ни одного поражения. Дамы и господа, он чемпион Санкт-Петербурга 2025 года, представляющий город на Неве, Россия, не знающий поражений Никита the Executioner Kuzmin.
Джентльмены, вы профессионалы, правила знаете, соблюдайте их. В любой ситуации защищайте себя. Пожмите руки, пора начинать, по углам. Поехали. Бокс!
So we're underway then. This is 8 3-minute rounds, 76.2 kilograms. Super middleweight division between 2 talented young boxers. The taller man, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold, is Nekruz Salimov, highly decorated 3-round fighter in IBA tournament. Most recently, the Asian Under-22 Continental silver medalist from the event at 80 kilograms. His opponent, who just scored with a good southpaw left to the body, is the undefeated Nikita Kuzmin. 7 fights, 7 wins as a professional, although most recently he competed in the Russian National Championships in August in 2025. So like so many of these elite boxers we see on IBA.Pro stages, Spencer, he's switching between the best and the bare-chested variety of boxing that comes as a pro.
Yep, you've seen that with the heavyweight more recently, Jorilov, who won 2 gold medals but has racked up a number of wins in the professional ranks. That's what we like about this IBA, where you're getting the opportunity to switch from one to the other. Kuzmin here against Salimov. is a very interesting contest. Two very technical boxers.
Quick-fisted flurry in between the high-held hand of Salimov from Kuzmin. Kuzmin looking to set the pace in the middle of the boxing ring in the early stages of the opening round. But Salimov snaking out a jab. There's a hard right hand against the southpaw as now Kuzmin goes into the half-cover guard. Good right-left hand driven into the body out of that southpaw stance. Both men really thinking and working for their openings as they look to fire out feints to draw that lead that they can respond to and counter. Good work to both head and body from Kuzmin during that passage of the round.
Yep, Kuzmin tucking up very well, trying a good shot there from Salimov. Straight right hand through the middle. As I say, this is going to be seesaw action, swinging one way, then the other from both of these guys who are technically very sound. Great matchup again here. Kuzmin boxing well, working the body well to the head and to the body.
First clinch of the contest, prompting the intervention of the referee, Mr. Sergei Litunov. Again, it's Kuzmin who seems determined to get off first. And then in response to that, success to both body and head from Salimov. 10-second clapper. And again, another scoring left cross to the body out of the southpaw stance. They're showing good variety, these boxers. They're not loading up on every shot, but their accuracy has been pretty impressive as they find the gaps in their opponent's defense to land point-scoring punches. I think the greater volume of scoring shots came from Kuzmin, and that probably, for my money, is enough to give him the opening round.
Yeah, agree with you, Ron. I think Kuzmin shot selection was impressive. Let's take a look at some of the action in that opening round. There we see Kuzmin short uppercut, right hook over the top out of the southpaw stance. Salimov wasn't phased, kept his composure nicely, but just the extra boxing IQ for me in that opening round was coming from Kuzmin. There's that left hand through the middle. That was a very impressive shot against the taller Salimov. Both guys having successes there, but yeah, very, very impressive first round, technical first round. Salimov, Kuzmin for me nicking it.
So moving to the second round then. Had the privilege of being ringside in Dushanbe to commentate on events, and my goodness, they love their boxing in the capital of Tajikistan. There was a good combination to both body and head from Kuzmin. Salimov responding. He secured his get back, but he's doing a really good job, is the shorter boxer Nikita Kuzmin, of dropping down and spearing in straight shots just above the belt line. Now he's not showing any, as we see the same shot right on cue once again. Salimov answering back, but that can slow down the movement in the latter rounds. Remember, this is an 8-round contest, and that early investment in body shots can pay dividends later on because it can make you feel as though you're wading through concrete in those latter rounds.
Yep, Kuzmin doing the right thing here, using his lack of height to his advantage, switching the attacks to the body. That straight left hand through the middle is especially effective. Look at the way he switched it upstairs as well there. We see him just tapping away with a jab, just using that as a rangefinder to get himself inside the taller Salimov and get off with those effective shots. Now he's just controlling the space here. Kuzmin working well, and Ron McIntosh is right in what he says here, that Salimov is maybe taking too long to get off of his shots. He's allowing Kuzmin to dictate the pace here in this second round, which is enough to win these rounds.
On the halfway stage is a really classy right-hand lead out of the orthodox stance, followed by a looping left hook, but then on the inside at mid-range is a right hook and a right jab, and a beautiful counter left on the back foot, landed with a bent elbow. Kuzmin ensuring that he had the final word and the more authoritative word in the course of that exchange. Look at that movement in the pocket, dipping beneath the fire of Salimov and coming back with his own scoring counters. Wonderful work to the body. Did you see how it brought the elbows down of Salimov? Was he hurt by that left hand to the body from the southpaw Nikita Kuzmin? just beyond the 2 minutes gone mark in this round. Wonderful, educated boxing being demonstrated by both, but particularly Nikita Kuzmin. The courage to stand in the pocket, draw a lead from his man, bob, weave, slip and slide, and score with effective shots of his own, like that two-shot salvo, punctuated with a left hand to the body once again.
Yep, brilliant shot selection from Kuzmin, who's working this body of Salimov so well. Salimov there had to show a bit of character, bite down a little bit, and again, look at the shot selection. Punches in bunches, combinations, uppercuts, hooks, then switches the attacks to the body as well. Very impressive stuff this from Kuzmin. And Salimov is having to dig deep a little bit here.
So closing seconds of this second round, another round of high skill. But for my money, that's another Kuzmin round, because the manner in which he's able to go through the gears while in seemingly punching range of the taller Salimov, but he's making that height work against him almost, because he's at short and mid-range for him, making it difficult for the taller man to unfurl his arms to score effectively with punches, as evidenced there.
Yep, this is some of the good action in that second round, and it was all coming from Kuzmin, sorry. Lovely shot there from Salimov, but the majority of the action, there we see how he's controlling that range. He just slipped out of range just by a matter of inches and come back with that straight left hand or looping left hand out of that southpaw stance. And look at the way he's throwing these punches in flurries, the uppercuts, the hooks, shots coming from everywhere. There were times there when Salimov probably felt that Kuzmin had 4 or 5 arms.
So we're going to the third round. Remember, it's scheduled for 8, so no panic stations yet, but surely the 6 minutes completed have been scored in favor of Nikita Kuzmin. Working the body beautifully, starting behind a double right hook beneath the elbows, and again finding gaps in between the long arm defenses of Salimov. Salimov responding, as you would expect an operator and competitor of his caliber to respond. But again, he's going to have to do something different here, because this tactic of trying to play peekaboo and then counter, he's seeing him get outworked and outscored. 40 seconds gone, and if it's not one-way traffic, it's pretty close, as we see a corkscrew left hand land from Kuzmin once again to snap Salimov's head back.
Yep, Salimov taking too much time to come back with the shots. He is boxing out that peekaboo style, but your timing has to be perfection when you're doing that. You have to punch when your opponent's punching, and Kuzmin is the guy that's getting off with the shots first. He's growing, oozing in confidence, mixing them up to body and head, and Salimov taking too much time to come back with shots of his own as he now tries to push forward, trying to get something, salvage something from this contest. Another left hand through the middle there from Kuzmin, a lovely shot.
And a right hook spinning around the corner as well. Left hand to the body, ended that two-shot combination after the first shot missed. There's a good straight right hand from Salimov, but his successes too few and far between, surely beyond the halfway stage of this third round. Beautiful work to the body once again from Kuzmin. We've had a mouthpiece dislodged, and it belongs to Salimov. And we're talking about the accuracy that is being demonstrated by Nikita Kuzmin. Salimov has his mouthpiece rinsed and reinserted. When you watch his training, Spence, sometimes he trains blindfolded. So has that, looking for that ethos of feeling the distance. He'll see where it is and then just have the double-ended bag or the punch bag coming back, just so he's feeling where the distance is, so he keeps his balance. And the way in which he's finding the distance here from all 3 territories, where you can see that he's got on top of that particular assignment pretty quickly, because his measurement of distance has been masterful tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has. Shot selection's been brilliant, and it's instinctive. Everything's instinctive. He's throwing the shots, just shuffling out of range, and there's a nice flow around his work as well, isn't there? I've been impressed with Salimov because he's had to show a lot of character in there. He's trying, he's standing in front of his man, but he's not doing anything. You know, he's not being creative enough. Against someone like Kuzmin, you have to be creative. You have to go with him, come off the sides, work the angles. You can't be a sitting duck. You can't sit in front of him. And that's exactly what Salimov is doing at the moment, being that sitting duck, and he's being made to pay.
Remember, there's a disparity in professional experience between the two, even though Kuzmin is just coming back off an appearance at the Russian National Championships in the 3-round format of boxing with the vest. But it's almost as though Salimov is boxing in that classic 3-round style. He's waiting, he's looking to be correct, and he's got a man in front of him who is all angles, all creativity, all dynamism. And while he's waiting to get off, this man breaks the deadlock, scores to the body, and then is spun around his opponent, presenting a different angle.
Yep, absolutely right, Ron. Nikita Kuzmin is showing us a little bit of everything in there, and here's some of the action. That was a nice shot, though, from Salimov. A rare one. Because Kuzmin has been the dominant force here, and that was that left hand, the shot that's been getting so much success from the opening bell. There we see it, misses with the right hook, closes the range by shuffling his feet in, getting himself into range. And this is some of the good work he's getting on the inside as well. Look at this, relaxing, putting the shots together, coming from all sorts of angles. And that's been the difference between these two from this opening bell. Here we go, round number 4.
Remember, this contest scheduled for 8. And surely Nekruz Salimov in the black trunks trimmed with gold has got to come up with some type of adaptive strategy here, because again, what have we got? Approaching 20 seconds gone in this 4th round, and the greater volume and variety and point scoring shots have come from Kuzmin. Now Salimov drops down to the body with a right hand. But what can he do, Spence? What should his corner be instructing him to do? Because what he's tried in the first 3 rounds, for my money, from our commentary position here, he must be trailing by having conceded all 3 rounds. What adaptations can he make as he's picked off by an overhand southpaw left once again? What adaptations can he make that will suit his long, loose limb style as the taller boxer?
Well, what he has to do is, because he's lacking the speed, he can't go with Kuzmin, who's now picking it up. He's decided to turn the screw himself, and this is going to be a tough night for Salimov. And the corner will be saying, listen, you can't match him in speed, you can't match him in punch selection, shot selection, so you got to rough it up, you got to make it a dogfight, because it's the only way you're going to win this one. You got to close the space, punch when he's punching Kuzmin, because for me, Kuzmin is ahead in every department, which is going to be a tough, tough night. So Salimov, what can he do? Has he got the technical ability to do it? I'm not sure he has, Ron. That's why I say he's showing heart, showing character, and boy, he's going to need it.
Indeed. But again, it's perhaps that difference. Again, tapping to the forearms. And oh, look at that sumptuous right hook beneath the left elbow of Salimov. And Salimov, all of the quality and credentials and fundamental soundness that you would expect coming from the elite program in the 3-round format. Multiple national titles dating all the way back to 2015 when he took the junior title, youth title in 2016, 2 youth titles in 2019, and most recently in 2023 where he won 4 contests out of 4 to claim that tournament at 71 kilograms. His continental success at the under-22s, as we mentioned, in the quarter-final run to the world champs last year, but against this bustling, dynamic, clever little professional of Nikita Kuzmin, all of that skill and tactical soundness isn't serving him very well here over the 8-round distance as we approach 4 completed rounds. He's got to do something different, because surely Kuzmin is boxing a shutout thus far.
Yep, Kuzmin's boxing his ears off at the moment. If we're totally honest, he's in complete control. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And he's doing pretty much what he's done since the opening bell, and he's chipping away, trying to break the Salimov down, trying to take that scalp and get him inside the distance, because at the moment you can only see one winner here. The pattern has been very much the same right from the opening bell. Another round in the bank for Nikita Kuzmin. And what does Salimov got to do? What has he got to do? Well, he's got to now make it rough. You know, technically, he's not as good. He's got to use the height, he's got to reach, he's got to close the gap, and he's just got to go for it here, because round by round, second by second, shot, he's getting taken apart, Salimov. It's been a dominant display from Kuzmin. There's a lot to like about him for sure. I love the angles that he works, the way he works inside, closes the gap with that long lead left hand to the head and to the body as well. Let's take a look at some of the action in that third round. Look at this, look at the way he's just relaxed, and what can Salimov do apart from cover up and hope that those shots don't all land. Here we go, round number 5.
So 4 rounds completed, up until 4 rounds to go. And this represents brand new territory for Nekruz Salimov, because in his previous outing and the IBA.Pro stage, that was a scheduled 4-rounder, which he won on points against Abdul Aziz Aputayev, the undefeated 3-0 pro. And that was in his home city of Dushanbe. He was absolutely sensational that night. Abdul Aziz Aputayev came into that with a perfect record of 3 wins out of 3, and all 3 wins coming in the first round, the man from Uzbekistan. But he was put on the end of a wonderful fluid performance by Nekruz Salimov, but it's anything but that tonight because of the activity and the staccato burst of punches that Kuzmin has been letting go. It's very difficult for Salimov to establish any type of rhythm here, Spencer. He's in brand new territory, not going to show, even though he'll have trained hard, he won't be sure how his body's going to respond under the ring lights, and then he's probably being dispirited and discouraged by this non-stop success that Kuzmin is enjoying.
Yep, Kuzmin just pushing forward. He's in complete control here. He's relaxed. He's being very creative as well. There's a lot to like about Kuzmin, who's very workmanlike. Salimov taking nothing away from him. It's been a solid performance, but he just hasn't got the answers as he gets caught with an uppercut on the inside. Delayed reaction goes down. Is the referee going to count this one? No, he waves it as a slip, but I tell you, Ron, he looks in trouble there.
There's an uppercut. He dipped the knees and then a right hand over the top, and look at Nekruz Salimov, keen to fashion a clinch, clinging on desperately just beyond the halfway stage of this 5th round. Kuzmin senses that, and look at the manner in which he's working the body in a bid to bring the hands down. Nekruz Salimov, no interest in punching. He's looking to just hang on, prevent his opponent from working away and trying to buy some time. Look at this, fiddling with the mouthpiece. Oh, ref, my shorts are a bit low. Buying some time, killing the clock, and gaining some much-needed respite after being sent to the canvas from what was, for our money, from a combination of punches, but the referee has ruled it a slip.
Yeah, referee has let him get away with it there big time as he pulled his own gum shield out to take a little breather, and the referee has given him it. But look at this now from Kuzmin, who recognises he could be moments away from the stoppage here, because Salimov, I don't think fancies this anymore. He's happy to hold on the inside.
So 40 seconds for Kuzmin as he continues to blast away to the body in a bid to continue to bring the hands down. Looking to fire back, but look at him coming out second best in the exchange as hooks rattle around the corner, punctuated by a final southpaw right. And Nikita Kuzmin absolutely flying through the gears here in the closing stages of round number 5. Back on the march once again, walking his opponent down, pinning him to the ropes, and Salimov is totally square, presenting a full-on target to Nikita Kuzmin, who is working him as though he's training on a heavy bag. Every shot in the book being utilized. Look at the manner in which he slipped the shot and scored with a counter left hand. Blistering round of boxing produced by Nikita Kuzmin, dominant from practically opening bell to last, and really put Nekruz Salimov under sustained pressure for the second half of the round.
Yep, and here's some of the action there in the 5th round, and it was all Nikita Kuzmin. There you see the body shot go in, and Kuzmin sensed that he hurt Salimov to the body. Salimov getting some success there with the right hand, but that was the uppercut that done all the damage. We saw a delayed reaction. He was hurt, he went down. The referee wrongfully ruled that a slip because it wasn't a slip. He was on his way down and there was maybe a little pull, but look at the way he's hugging him there. He does not want to let go. Kuzmin senses that he's jumping up and down. He's trying to get some form of relief, trying to get a little break, but Kuzmin in dominant fashion there in that 5th round. Round number 6, Salimov has got to find something from somewhere. One thing I can guarantee, guys, it's going to be a tough round for Salimov.
Well, that's interesting, because this was listed as an 8-rounder. Now they've cut it back to 6. And so, saying it's 6-6, hence that little embrace before the bell, and perhaps that's taking mercy on Nekruz Salimov as he dislodges the mouthpiece once again. Now, in all codes of boxing, if your mouthpiece continues to be dislodged, it can result in a point deduction, because a fighter who's a veteran and crafty can spit the mouthpiece if they find themselves in trouble. That one certainly wasn't spat, it was that left hand out of the southpaw stand. And there, was that a point deduction, Spence?
I think it was. I think it was a point deduction, even though he got a short left hook on the chin and it dislodged that Gumfield.
Salimov with his best right hand for some time, but again, it can be used as a tactic by veteran fighters to buy themselves time if you continue to spit the mouthpiece. Remember the late, great Diego Corrales in his battle with Castillo, how the mouthpiece kept coming out repeatedly, it has to get rinsed and reinserted, and that, during that interval, can be enough for a fighter in shape to get some energy levels back. I think Salimov has been doctor point for the mouthpiece coming out repeatedly, just adding to his woes in a contest which seemingly has been cut from 8 to 6 rounds. But the man in the white trimmed with gold, Nikita Kuzmin, in complete control here.
Yep, Salimov will be pleased. That is cut from 8 to 6, and he'll be pleased. He won't be thinking about that point deduction either, because he is a mile behind on the scorecards. The only chance he's got is to get the knockout victory, and boy, does it look like it's not going to happen for him. It could be the other way round if Kuzmin keeps working the head and body the way that he is. Combinations, you're right, Ron. Working the heavy bag downstairs, switching the attacks upstairs as well. Nikita Kuzmin has put in a brilliant performance here, and he's going for the showreel finish.
So we're beyond the halfway stage of what is now the final round. Contest cut from 8 rounds to 6 as another right hand crashes through, and again Salimov swaying on the ropes before seeking desperately to claim his man. Now, if this mouthpiece has come out again, Salimov could find himself in real trouble here, because it's a responsibility of he and his corner team to ensure that the gum shield is secure and well fitting. When you first start in boxing, you go to the local sports shop and get yourself practically a boil in the bag gum shield, right? You throw it in the pot for a minute, you bite down, and it fits as well as it fits. But at this level, it's going to be something that's made by a dentist, custom made, bespoke for him, but it's been dislodged repeatedly out of the mouth of Nekruz Salimov. He's been doctor point, and here he's being worked over both to head and body once again.
Yeah, punishing work here from Kuzmin, who's been working so well. And I'll tell you something, Salimov is showing character to hang in there, that is for sure, and he's desperately holding on here. And this 25 seconds, final 25 seconds of this 6th and final round will not come quick enough. Salimov has had, he'll be looking to the boxing gods now, right now, saying thank you for cutting it from 8 to 6, because it has been punishing.
So it's been a torrid outing endured by Nekruz Salimov. Credit to him, he's still in there pitching and competing, but again, look at him desperately claiming his man as the 10-second clapper sounds. He will know more than anyone, because as the man sitting next to me will tell you, fighters know. And what we've all seen has been endured by Nekruz Salimov. And Nikita Kuzmin on his eye. So, doping violation, putting him out of the ring for that length of time. He's a man in a hurry looking to make up for that time out of the ropes arena. Here's the verdict.
60-53. Таким образом, единогласным решением судей одержал победу. И остается не знающим поражений Никита Палач Кузmin. Санкт-Петербург, Россия.
So, a unanimous point decision victor is the executioner.